After 20 Years by O. Henry is a short story that explores themes of friendship, loyalty, and the passage of time. The story is set on a quiet, dark street in New York City at around 10 p.m. It is a chilly night, and the setting creates an atmosphere of suspense and anticipation. Now, let's directly jump into the plot summary. The story begins with a policeman patrolling his beat in a neighborhood that used to be bustling but has now quieted down. As he checks the doors along his route, he comes across a man standing in the doorway of a closed hardware store. The man explains that he is waiting for a friend. The man in the doorway introduces himself as Bob, known as Silky Bob, a nickname that suggests he has had a dubious career. He tells the policeman that 20 years ago he and his best friend, Jimmy Wells, made a pact to meet at that very spot on that very date, regardless of what their lives turned into. The two friends had parted ways when Bob went to seek his fortune in the West, while Jimmy stayed in New York. Bob is confident that Jimmy will show up as they had been as close as brothers. He shares a bit of their backstory, mentioning how they had grown up together and how much he respects and believes in Jimmy. As they talk, the policeman learns that Bob has been successful in his ventures, although it is hinted that his success may not have come through entirely honest means. Bob checks his diamond studded pocket watch, a symbol of his wealth and status, which contrasts him with the humble life of a policeman. The policeman leaves, continuing his patrol, and Bob remains waiting, occasionally glancing at his watch. A few minutes later, a man in a long overcoat approaches, claiming to be Jimmy. The two men greet each other warmly, but as they walk together, Bob realizes that this man is not Jimmy. The man admits he is a plainclothes detective and hands Bob a note. The note is from Jimmy. In it, Jimmy explains that he had indeed come to the appointed place on time and recognized Bob as a wanted criminal from Chicago. Unable to arrest his old friend himself, Jimmy had arranged for another officer to do so. The note is poignant, revealing Jimmy's internal conflict and his ultimate decision to uphold his duty as a policeman. Bob is arrested by the detective and he reads Jimmy's note. He understands the depth of Jimmy's integrity and sense of duty. The story ends with Bob being led away, leaving readers to reflect on the complexities of loyalty, friendship, and the passage of time. The themes used by O. Henry in this story are friendship and loyalty, change and time, and duty and morality. Jimmy's decision to have Bob arrested despite their friendship underscores the conflict between personal loyalty and professional duty. The passage of 20 years brings significant changes in both men's life, emphasizing how time can alter circumstances and people. O. Henry is known for his twist endings, and After 20 Years is no exception. The dialogue is natural and reveals character traits subtly, while the setting adds to the overall mood of the story. After 20 Years is a masterful example of O. Henry's ability to weave complex themes into a short, impactful narrative. The story's twist ending not only surprises the reader but also deepens the exploration of its central themes, leaving on a lasting impression.